when we're confronted with change, be that a new market innovation, a new restructure, a new boss in your business, we all try and pick holes in stuff rather than seek the value.
What first sparked your interest in corporate creativity and innovation?
Yeah, well, I would say that started with a career change. So I spent the first 8 years of my life in big business. And I think, in that time, I just got a bit frustrated with the procedures that I had to work within. The businesses that I worked in were a bit risk adverse. And I also, the cultures I worked in sort of encouraged conformity a little bit. And actually the roles I was in sales and marketing, didn't really allow me to tap into the big passion of mine, which is people and bringing out the best in them. And so it was the career change which really triggered my passion around creativity and innovation, born out of a bit of frustration of working in big business, which was, I went to work at an award-winning creative agency called What If. And it was really there that I very quickly had my eyes open to new ways of working, new ways of thinking, new ways of being, actually. And it was fantastic. It was a business that, I loved it. So creativity and innovation, it's all about having fun. It's all about self-expressing. It's all about solving problems. And actually, it's all about working with other people, which were all real energies of mine. And What If just had a really great way into that. And it exposed me to loads of really interesting clients. And actually, when you're working around creativity and innovation, it exposes you to really interesting people within those interesting organizations as well. It's often the highlight of their year. So you're getting really good people from those businesses, really excited, working with us. So yeah, I got lots of learnings from that, loads of energy, and I've been doing it ever since.
You teach people how to up your Elvis. Can you elaborate on this?
Yeah, I can. It often needs a bit of elaboration. So our business is actually called Upping Your Elvis. We've been going 13 years. And maybe I should explain the name. So it was when we were looking to set up our business, we came across a story of Bono on his Drop the Debt campaign in the early 2000s. He built up a reputation for turning up to large organizations and quickly identifying the people that he wanted to work with within those businesses. And the way he did that was by asking a question. And the question he always used to ask was, so who's Elvis around here? That was his question. And we love that question, because really what we think he's asking is, who's the maverick here? Who's a little bit less predictable in the way that they show up and the way that they operate? Who enjoys challenging the status quo because they're hungry to deliver more? And when you find those types of people in business, the people who can do that, they tend to be the people who find it easier to be the person they really are as a human being while they're at work. And when you can do that, it's much easier to tap into your unique talents, your own innate creativity. And obviously, you can be yourself more. So you're more genuine, you're more authentic, you're easier to connect with, and you bring better energy. And if you can get people to tap into their Elvis, if you like, then everybody wins and you can start doing extraordinary work. And what we tend to find is we've all got that. We've all got that Elvis inside of us. It's just in times of change, in times of uncertainty, in times of global pandemics, when our energy is pulled in lots of different directions, when it's very difficult to prioritize your days, it's very easy to disconnect from what makes this unique and special. Very easy to disconnect from your Elvis, if you like, as you start to conform, as you start to become a bit more efficient in the way that you work through your busy days. And I think you miss loads of opportunity. And so we're all about helping people reconnect with individuals, with teams, with organizations, with their Elvis. And we do that by shaking them out of their sort of day-to-day habitual routines, wake them up off autopilot, create some engaging, interactive, fun experiences so they can very quickly reconnect with who they really are. And then once you've got them in that space, give them some very simple, very smart approaches and techniques that are designed to make work easier, more fun, more creative, and more impactful. And ultimately, that's a long-winded way of asking you a question, but I mean, that's what upping your Elvis is all about.
With experience in creative marketing, how should businesses encourage a creative mindset in their employees?
Well, yeah, I mean, that is a big question. That is a question that I've been working on for over 23 years. I think the first part of that is to help people step back and understand the conditions you need to create if you want creativity to happen. I mean, I always ask the question to groups that I'm working with, where are you when you have your best ideas? And the answers I always get back are when I go for a walk, when I'm lying in bed, when I'm in the shower. In fact, all bathroom activities seem to be popular. Doing exercise, when I'm having fun with my friends, because there are times when they're relaxed, when they can be themselves, when they find it easy to tap into their innate sort of subconscious where their creativity lies. Very rarely do people answer that question with sitting at my desk, thinking hard, being busy, being efficient. And so just with that very simple piece of awareness, if you want people to tap into their creative mindset, the first thing you need to do is create the conditions to make it easy for people to do that. And that's all behavioral, and it's all energetic, and it's all role modeled through the leaders in the business, because we all emulate our leaders. We all look up to them and behave and prioritize the things that they prioritize and the way that they behave. And if they can create the right behaviors, which are to be playful, to be positive, to open up and nurture ideas, to seek the value in the stimulus around them, and if they can enjoy the failures as much as they enjoy the successes, then I think people start to relax. Then I think people start to see creativity and innovation as a game. And then I think people start chucking out those crazy ideas and building, rather than holding back and being concerned about how people are going to react to what's going on in their heads. So I think that's the first big part to unlocking creative potential in an organization. I think the other part is people have got so many beliefs around their creative ability. So many of my clients, I hear them actually voice them and say, I'm not creative. That's for other people in the business. And our belief at Upping Your Elvis is that we've all got the same innate creativity inside of us. We've all got the same innate creative potential. It's just how hard you work that muscle that dictates how good you become at it, like anything. And so I think that there is a part around shifting people's beliefs and their ability, and that all comes through engineering positive experiences around creativity, step one. And then step two, helping people interpret those experiences in a positive way. So if you can engineer positive experiences and help them interpret them in really great ways, they're going to attach good feelings to those experiences, which inevitably will shift their belief. And if you shift belief in your people, in your teams, within the organization, that's where all the doors open, and that's where all the magic happens. And because it drives the behaviors that you need to see. So that's the other big point. The last thing I'd say on that, because it is a big question, there's no one simple answer to it, is to prioritize it. So everyone says when it comes to creativity and innovation, I'm too busy, I don't have enough time. You need to prioritize it, and you need your leaders to prioritize it. And one of the best ways, I think, of prioritizing creativity is to make it an everyday sport, almost part of the DNA of your organization, rather than waiting for the big brand launch or the new product development where innovation of creativity obviously sits. We think if you want to work that muscle, use creativity in how you recruit people, how you communicate, how you reward, how you recognize, how you run your team meetings, your Christmas party. There are always opportunities to inject creativity. And I think then if you get good at it, actually it becomes less of a barrier and it becomes part of the culture of the organization.
So when faced with change, what is the first thing businesses must do?
Well, I think that the thing they must do is embrace it. Change is the new norm anyway. So I think it's key that they embrace it. And I think helping people recognize what comes with change, which is opportunity and energy and creativity and and growth and learning, and not being on autopilot and not being frustrated by restricting habits and routines, but creating solutions to the future. And that's the business that I want to work in. I want to work in a business which has that energy and that excitement, where I feel I'm growing every day. When I turn up to work and I don't quite know how it's going to look and feel, so I think it's a mind shift change, but that's hard because we are programmed. We've got an allergy to change as human beings. We're not designed for business, but business is a relatively new construct. We're designed to be hunter-gatherers in the savannah. Ultimately, I mean, our minds have evolved very little in the last 12 to 50,000 years, and 12 to 15,000 years ago, we were all hunter-gatherers. So our brains we've got the programming of a hunter-gatherer, and obviously a hunter-gatherer, our programming was survive, because it's a dangerous world. And so we develop a negativity bias where we're constantly scanning our environment with a hair trigger that when we pull, it triggers a flight, fight, or freeze response. And the faster we can pull it, the more likely we are to survive. Fast forward to today, I hope we're not waking up going, where's the saber-toothed tiger? But that hair trigger gets pulled very quickly when you bring change into people's lives, because it's the unknown. We're moving out of our comfort zones. And when it's unknown, the caveman brain goes, danger. I haven't seen this before, danger. And so when we're confronted with change, be that a new market innovation, a new restructure, a new boss in your business, we all try and pick holes in stuff rather than seek the value. And so that is the obstacle you need to overcome. I think it's always just important to assume that you are having constant fight, flight, freeze responses with all your people whenever they're confronted with anything new. So as a business and as a group of leaders, you need to help people constantly reframe that, to seek the value, to be positive, and to go, this is a fantastic opportunity. And actually, if we don't embrace it, we're going to die very quickly as a business, because it's key to success.